I'm speaking to the legend, to the diva. So
I am not a diva.
and that's the first sign of a diva, her denying it. There we go again. Well, sweetheart, it's always a pleasure to hear you, diva or not, whatever you want to me, you're a beautiful human being. And by the way, not just spiritually, you're quite beautiful physically as well. Having said that, so you're saying when you go to a studio and you're given a sheet music about Cry to Me?
Oh, this was the Cry to Me was the first recording that I recorded.
Right.
Well, it really wasn't the first, but it was the major. It was my number one.
Right. I remember that.
And I don't use sheet music, but the background, when they came in, I had no idea what they were going to do. And it was like they had me in a booth.
Oh, in a booth?
So, yeah, I'm in a booth by myself. I could see everybody.
Little lonely.
There was like 32 musicians in that room.
Wow. The whole band.
They had the whole string section.
Oi.
From wait a minute. Oh my God, I almost called his name. Oh Jesus. The Mitch Miller Show.
Miller Show?
Probably. Yeah, back in the day, the biggest thing in New York was Mitch Miller, the Mitch Miller Show.
Mitch Miller, I didn't hear about that. I wasn't around back then.
I know you weren't. Check it out. Anyway, to see these guys in the studio with me, I'm going like, whoa, these are all violins.
And these are 32 musicians, and not musicians like me, like real musicians.
Real musicians. The guys that take one, and I'm looking at everybody, and everybody's. I mean, it was all new to me too, because I'd never been in a real studio.
And this is approximately what year are we in right at this time?
63.
63. I was minus 10 years old.
We were in Bell Sound Studios.
I was negative 10 years old. So what happened?
These guys just everything was sheet music. The background, Sissy, they said, it was like, okay, we're here, and you are here, and that's it, and take one, and they are off at it. And I'm going like, oh my God. And the whole thing was, okay, we went through the entire song once. The second time, I was able to catch my breath and realizing what was going on. And I'm going like this, they can't out-sing me, they can't out-play me. And that's when you turn loose all the emotions that are there. And they went right behind number 2 to number 3, and the third take, and that was it.
Oh, so you did 3 takes?
Yeah.
Without ever rehearsing?
Right. No, you don't, if they're going to be in a rehearsal, do that before you go in the studio. You're paying like $125 an hour or $200. Then you spend the next 2.5 hours going over a song that you hate.
And so Cece, how do you call it? Cece, right? Cece.
Yeah.
Cece Houston, the mother of Whitney Houston, she was in a backup?
Yeah. She did backup for everybody that was anybody doing that era.
Right, even Elvis, I think, I read she was, I'm sorry, she was doing backup for Elvis too.
Oh yeah, if you were in Bell Sound Studio, they were the backup group.
And what a backup she was.
Even, I think my second session there, what's the name? Dionne Warwick also was backup.
Dionne Warwick?
Yeah, she was backup.
And Dionne is her, they're related. I mean, the whole Warwick family and Houston family, they're like related from what I read.
Right.
And Dionne Warwick was, that's who
She was a background singer. She was not, she was a background singer.
Because there's one Warwick that became quite a star. I forgot which name. There's a few Warwicks that they mentioned.
Dionne became, she's a legend now.
How do you call her first name? Dionne Warwick. Yeah, I remember. Mm-hmm. And who is she to Cece?
Anyone who had a
like how was she and Cece related?
Cece Houston. I think they're cousins.
Cousins, right. So then at that time that was your first time meeting Cece?
Yeah.
I see, and
the
you
lady. All those girls were singing. I was totally prepared for what I ran into.
In what way you mean unprepared? In what way?
When I say not prepared, I didn't have the experience that they had. They were masters at what they were doing.
And
as a lead singer, you're free to do what you want.
Because you're a star.
You gotta be able to move from one to another.
I'm sorry, can you say, sometimes you get cut off. Can you say that again?
To be a
it's your phone. You see, I keep begging you to get a WhatsApp. You don't want to do WhatsApp. So we could FaceTime even.
What?
No, sometimes maybe it's me driving, but I suspect that could be your phone as well. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Getting cut off. Sometimes I don't know what happens to the signal. Let me call you right back, because sometimes when I call back it gets restored. Hold on. Это Перри Харрис, легенда. Она всех знает. Она всех знает. Она сама. Ее саму знать это невероятно. Женщина, великая женщина. Где она? Где она? Все. Куда она делась? Надо не ругаться с ней, потому что такая женщина интересная.
Hello?
Yes, oh, now I hear you great.
Okay.
Oh, beautiful. So you were saying as a lead singer, you can do whatever you'd like, but you were still unprepared for that type of encounter because they were all like experienced. And how old were you at the time? 63?
What I was saying, Abraham, as a lead singer, you're free to do basically what you feel.
Right.
Background singers are set in different spots spaces and turns. They're very flexible.
You say they're flexible?
They are flexible. They're able to move from. They don't have to feel what they're doing. They can just sing it.
I understand.
They don't have to be. Their harmony.
So they basically they go and they can improvise every time.
And to hear what's going on, and because the three of them work together all the time, they know what each other's gonna do.
I understand. That's a lot. That's a lot for a regular person like me to process, because to harmonize a vocal, to vocally harmonize something. Do you know what it takes for me, as a pulmonary doctor, to sing harmony with someone? It's a tremendous effort. I have to
But it's not with them because they do it on a daily basis.
I know, but some people have that naturally.
They know,
I know, sweetheart. I know.
They know where. It's like if I walked on stage with someone and Samantha Fish covered one of my tunes, which was in Europe, and she I went to one of her shows, and she says, "Hey, see if we can get Betty up to help." And my manager, I don't need to work with her to know what I'm gonna do on stage, because if she's following the music line, then we know what each other's gonna do.
Have you ever? Let me ask you. Have you ever done any backup for someone, or you're always a lead?
I've always been a lead singer.
See how that is so interesting.
My voice is too big. My voice is too big to harmonize with anybody.
You are a diva. That's a true, because see, some people are made to back up, and some people are meant to lead, and you lead.
I can't do back up. I can't do.
That's why. By the way, that's why if you think about it, energy-wise, that's why me and you, we clashed, because I like to lead as well, and here you were a leader, and I was having my own, certain challenges. So I felt somehow, dominated, and
yeah, come on.
That's true.
You know what gets me?
What?
Being Betty Harris is one thing, but people cannot accept the fact that I'm just a human being.
No, but sweetheart, you don't understand the power you have. So this is what I gotta tell you as a doctor. You have a power to enchant men. I got enchanted by you. Doesn't matter if you're 15 or 115 years old. It's not about the age. It's about you have this power, and then the power you have is as powerful as it is. It has the opposite power of us men feeling vulnerable that we're losing you. It's like a Marilyn. By the way, have you ever met Marilyn Monroe?
No.
Well, see,
that's a Hollywood thing. That's not Central America.
That's not what? I'm sorry?
That's not Northern America. I don't go to Hollywood.
I understand, but you know what? She has her personality in some ways is quite similar to yours. A very powerful woman that most men will just be dominated by, and a lot of men are used to being dominated. I've never been that man, at least not lately. So when I feel dominated, I feel like the woman can just leave me. That's why I got all nervous and lost my cool. Having said that, I'm sorry about that. You know how I feel to you and about you. You're my dear friend, and that's always since you walked in that office, I've been, like, literally, I've been smitten by you. But you know, one thing does not prevent the other. Let me ask you something. I'm curious to hear you, how you felt when Whitney, so you basically saw Whitney grow up in front of you, right?
Of course. Yeah.
And they were in Newark from what I read, and you must have been touring, but you and Cece must have collaborated. So so you saw Whitney when she was a...
No.
So tell me.
Now.
Tell me.
Whitney is in a different bracket.
What do you mean by that?
When I say in a different bracket, I'm an R&B singer.
Right.
So is Whitney. So was Whitney.
Right.
Okay? But my area is different.
In what way?
R&B, rhythm and blues. She was a versatile singer. She did rock.
Right.
She did. She was able to do almost any song she wanted to.
Right.
Wherein I am totally limited. I can't.
And what's
I can't say I can't. I just don't have an interest in different kinds of music.
It's interesting. And what makes that be? What makes that to be so? What is the reason for that?
Because I spend my time perfecting what
I see. You know what? I understand, sweetheart. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I have to allow what's inside of me to come out.
You know what? I think I can, in my primitive mind as a musician, because I also do a little bit. I don't want to say musician, but I do music a little bit. There is a particular genre of music which I really feel connected to, and when
that happens with all musicians.
Wow, and that's
They'll
interesting
play anything, but that one particular
area,
sound,
yes,
that area is where they're happy.
Like there's this one singer who I showed you, the bald guy, like his songs, for one reason or the other, are like, they make me go crazy, and I sing his songs predominantly, though I can sing other ones, but they don't cause that much effect on me, not even close. And if people tell me, oh, sing something of this artist, and I'm like, no, it's not, I don't feel it, so I don't even do it. It's weird. Until now, because I can relate to what you're saying. And some musicians, they are so, like, for example, the guy who you met, he plays anything. I don't feel like, well, he has this liking to like fast, jazzy type of fast arrangements, but he can play any song and it doesn't seem to matter to him. He's very versatile. Me, I'm like, I cannot play fast. Like fast music, I don't feel nothing except for dancing to it. I don't feel like playing a fast song even, or singing it. It doesn't really trigger it doesn't make my emotions come out. I like slower.
Yeah.
Even, you know what happens?
Okay.
It's crazy, because I sing songs. I mean, I do covers of others, obviously. I don't have anything of my own. And when I sing their songs, I'm like singing them at half the speed, like I slow them down. People say, why are you so slow? I'm like, that's how I feel it. I feel it has to be really slow for it to bring out the flavor and the meaning of the words. To me, most songs are too freaking fast anyway. I feel sometimes that even it's some type of a type of a attempt to hide the deep meaning. Every song that is, especially the ones who become popular, it's like to me it's like almost like a prayer, like a mantra in a way, because there's a deep meaning of the words, that because of music and the speed, most people don't even hear what the song is saying. And I'm like telling people, listen to what the words are. Oh, who cares? So no, there's a message. There's a serious message. But anyway, I wanted to ask you something. So when was it that you saw in Whitney this crazy gift that she obviously has? I don't want to say had. Like she's unlike any.
Well, we knew because she sang in church before,
right?
And most of us come out of churches,
right?
So if you're able to move an audience in church, you can move anybody else.
Yeah, I read about that.
So it wasn't realizing it was what particular song is going to put her over as far as selling records. That's all those people were interested.
But what do you think was so? I mean, I look at her even like yesterday because for some reason this series, the documentary in Russian, there was like a live story in Russian, and I was expecting them mentioning you, but they didn't. These rascals. But what was it to you as a star singer in your own right? You're a star, because for us mortals, I can't quite. I want to hear what your feeling is about what is so special about Whitney that made her so huge and so.
She was so versatile. She was completely versatile. It didn't matter what kind of song. Everybody is not like that. I mean, you can hand one artist a sheet music and they can take it and just take off with it. I have to hear it. I have to be able to feel it.
Right.
It has to go deeper than just sing it. It has to be something that moves me.
I understand.
Now, that's a different kind of singer. When you get a singer that can sing anything and put herself into it.
That's crazy,
the way
huh?
Whitney could.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying. But what about a vocal? I see. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
She was gifted.
Yeah, somewhat gifted.
That's like Aretha was a singer. I mean, everybody loved her. And she was the type you were not going to outdo.
I see.
She would run you off the stage.
Wow. That much power. What about, someone like I can relate. What about a singer like, for example, Barbara Streisand? How do you see her? Was she also versatile, according to you?
Not in the same genre that we were speaking of.
Have you ever met her, by the way? I think I asked.
I didn't meet her, but I knew a couple of her friends.
Oh, you didn't meet her. And what about, I
didn't meet her.
I see. What do you think about her as a singer?
I think she was good.
Yeah, I like that. She's okay.
Yeah.
Good. I love it. At your level, you say good. Let me ask you. I think I'm starting to understand what you mean by versatile. Like, there's some singers, like for example, George Michael. See, like, you remember George Michael, right?
Let me ask you something. Have you heard tell Plant?
I'm sorry?
Plant. Robert Plant.
Robert Plant? You mentioned him. He's a producer?
Have you heard tell of him?
I'm sorry, have I heard of him?
Mm-hmm.
Robert Plank?
Plant. P-L-A-N-T.
P-L-A-N-T. Plant. No, I didn't hear. No, I think you mentioned him maybe, but that's all I heard, possibly. Who is
Anyway.
he? Who is he?
Right now, he should have been this week or last, or coming up. He's receiving, what is it? The Congressional Medal of Honor or some shit.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, this guy chose me as one of his favorite singers. I couldn't believe it.
George Michael.
Not George Michael. Robert Plant.
But you're saying Robert?
He was with one of the crazy bands back in the day.
Is he a singer himself? Who is he?
Say what?
Who is Robert Plant?
I have to tell you about him later.
Okay, no worries. I want to ask you something. So how close you and Whitney were you like friends or you were just distant?
Well,
I'm sorry?
like with her, don't even.
And this is what happens to the phone when it's some of the most interesting questions. The connection gets a little weird. That's crazy. Ну как вот что-то вопрос прошу какой-то сразу. Человек.
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So
I can hear you.
You were saying something. What were you saying about? I was asking how close you and Whitney were. Were you like friends or just distant acquaintance?
We were acquainted.
I see.
No more. Whitney is. I'm more of a friend to her mother than her.
But because of the age, because Whitney is like, I think what, 20 some years younger than you.
Yeah.
Huh?
Maybe 30.
Yeah, like 20 and change. But you know what? I was reading. I always thought to myself that you were like a godmother to her. I told all my friends that I have a friend, a very dear friend of mine, who's a godmother of Whitney, who taught Whitney Houston how to sing. But
no, I wasn't. I was not that close with Whitney.
But you see,
I knew her.
I understand. My whole neighborhood knows you as a teacher of Whitney Houston. Just so you know, as a mentor to Whitney. I say this beautiful lady. She was a mentor to Whitney Houston. So that's how you're known.
What are you doing?
That's how I see you. That's how I imagine you. That's how rumors spread. People like me.
Come on.
Let me ask you, but have you and Whitney, like, have you shared certain singing knowledge or singing techniques with, or like just anything that has to do with singing? Have you? Because I read that her mom taught her a lot, made her like work hard and sing, and even like punished her a lot. She was rough with her, like very, very authoritative.
Wait. I just told you. People write stories to sell books. Okay?
I get it.
A talented singer actually does not need that much coaching. It comes automatically.
I understand. I understand that I don't understand. I get you.
It's a gift.
I know, sweetheart. Believe me, I know. It's something you feel.
You have a gift. You have a gift. Okay? They say you have a gift of gab. You have a gift of helping people to breathe, even though you studied for it, but it's a gift. Most people may not reach where you are.
Right.
Same thing with singers. Same thing with drummers. Same thing with drummers they're in the right place at the right time.
It's a certain energy that you either feel or you don't.
Right.
And the thing is, you know what?
You got that part. You have that part. You know that.
Right.
There's no difference.
But you know what I notice, and this is where I lose a lot of people. And by the way, and please correct me if you feel I'm not being as accurate as I like to be. I think there's actually a book by this very famous, well, not so famous, psychologist from the last century. His name is Eric Fromm. And he has many books, but one is called The Art of Loving. So he proposes a theory, which is to me quite reasonable, that loving, many aspects of loving is just like an art. Just like singing is an art, and a lot of it is a gift, but a lot of it you can actually teach to a point. Obviously, you cannot teach someone how to be Whitney Houston or Betty Harris. That's impossible. But for example, had you taken me under your wing and you were, let's say, a very prolific teacher, vocal teacher, then obviously you would have made me a way better singer than I am. Well, that's not too difficult to do, but I'm just saying. So I feel like there's a lot that we can teach in terms of how to become a great singer or a great musician to a point.
When I came along, there were very few.
There were what?
Very few instructors. You could learn everything else about show business from an instructor, except I'd sing.
Right, and it's this way even now.
No, they got some people out there now.
But still, the most. Sweetheart, I know. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. The most
have instructors that can help you to get through songs, but they can't. They can't. They can. Wait a minute. Let me see how I can put this. How many doctors do you know that are as good as you are?
Well, I don't want to sound, too full of myself, but I'm the best I know. but
I knew you were going to say that.
But not because
I knew.
Sweetheart.
I knew you were going to say that, and it's probably true. But the same thing when you find a gifted singer. There's very little instruction given to them because they hear everything.
I feel you. It's like Michael Jordan. I mean, he was very coachable.
Okay. You know what you're saying.
I feel it because there are certain things in my life that I am currently learning to master, and one of which, the main thing, is how to share the things that I feel are happening to me and to other people, and most people don't seem to be open to even hearing me share that with them. So
they're not at that point.
Well,
you can't make everybody be where you are.
Yeah, but I think I can, because I've been trained. Do you know?
Where you're sick.
Sweetheart, let me tell you.
You can't do it.
I've been trained in my field of intensive care. We don't walk around asking. We just put tubes in everybody who winks at us the wrong way. We're gonna put tubes in every orifice. And if they fight, we're gonna sedate their asses and put them out. So they don't argue with. And I'm actually one of the more liberal people. I actually, you know, try to be more harmonious and kind of work. You should see me, Betty. I come up to a scene where there is like a crazy, lunatic, drunk, psychotic, and there's like 5 guards. The whole hospital is there, and they can't control him, and they can't even come close because he's flipping. So they call ICU for a out of control individual because they feel like they'll need to sedate him, and then once they sedate him, sometimes they have to sedate so much that the breathing will stop. So they need us. And I'm from New York, Brooklyn, and I deal with these people on a regular basis. So what I do is I just come up to the guy, and like nobody wants to come up. I say, no, let me come up, talk to the guy. I say, no, he's gonna bite you or he's gonna attack you. I say, that usually does not happen. So I come up to him and we have a nice conversation. I say, what's going on? What's that? He goes, listen, he goes, they tie me to the bed. I need to drink water, like a glass of water. They think I'm crazy, and they flip me, and fuck them, and I'm gonna kill them all. I'm like, listen, stop saying, I say, stop saying the K word. Don't use, because you flipping, because you flipping people. They actually believe you. And I mean, he's a bit psychotic, obviously. But I say, listen, I'm here. I got you. I'm a drunk. I'm an alcoholic. I got you. I've been there. So just work with me here. I'll get you water. Basically, I work with the guy, and slowly but surely, I don't have to. A lot of times, I just calm him down, and he gets finally somebody normal came up and talked to me. Nobody talks to me, so I'm gonna fuck him up. And this is so that's exactly my point. I try to be kind of like find the groove where I can easy, like my grandpa teaches me. By the way, he's turning 100 in 2 weeks, and he says hi. So my grandpa, he taught me from when I was a kid. He goes, when he's a handyman, he builds stuff. He's a bridge builder. He goes, look, if you need to apply force, you're wrong. It's gonna break. If you force it, it'll break. You gotta be gentle. No force required in most things. So you gotta be gentle. Force is for stupid people. It goes, just be gentle. And I remember this. Most of the things you can achieve with being gentle. But when it comes to these challenges that I've been facing, it is so bright and vivid to me. And I'm bewildered as to how people not only don't see, they flip at me saying things like I say, and it's crazy. And then you know what flips me, by the way, because I'm also a human. It's one thing knowing Betty, who you and I have had some tough little, face to face, but I always felt for some reason that you were gonna be there. And that, even though it scared me that maybe I would lose you as a friend even, I kind of felt, you know what? I kind of feel that this woman is not going anywhere. She's gonna be there. As long as I can somehow calm my fear, because it's all fear. I fear losing a friend, so I start flipping and saying stupid shit. Just to rock the boat and see if I rock the boat, maybe if the good friend will be there, and if not, then let it be. So that's easy with you because see, you and I are still talking and we've been through some tough situations. But when it's my own mother, for example, and thank you for saying that, when it's my own brother. Oh, by the way, do you know what happened recently? My son, see, I wish I called you, damn. You would have loved meeting my son. My son, the oldest son, Samuel, he came back. And, oh, you're gonna love this. In November 6th, he comes back by accident, just serendipity, just chance. And he's depressed, just like the father was, a bit suicidal, not a lot, just a touch. And he also, a bit homicidal, he also wanted to kill me too, but not a lot, a little bit. I
can understand that.
Yeah, so then, and he felt it was not very reasonable, but yet the idea of a knife. So I told him, if you ever get those thoughts in the middle, because we lived together for a month, 33 days. So till December 9th. That's when I took him to the psych ward. So I told him if he ever has a dilemma at night, who to go after first, himself or me, I told him to start with yourself. And then once you figure that one, if you succeed with yourself, killing yourself, then you can go to me next. But I told him I want you to first practice on you. Don't go to me right away. But I was concerned, because I was actually thinking to close my door when I used to go to bed, because it's a worrisome feeling, Now, I took him to the psych ward, and then 4 days later, I was arrested and put in jail myself by my beloved. And be that as it may, she claimed certain things. I'm recording, but there was a lot of claims made that I threatened to kill her. I love her. See, I don't know where she got that from. I sing songs to her and I record them. Yes, I did use some expletive language when it came to talking to her through my son's phone, because I'm upset. But under no circumstances I wish her any evil, except just to learn what she needs to learn, and that may need some discipline from her. But be that as it may, I spent almost 2 days in jail, which was interesting. And she basically managed to lock us both up. Having said that, we had police called. In a 33 days, I counted 9 police visits to our apartment and to her house. And now my son spent 18 days in psych ward. He did not want to come out of there. He felt right at home. And then he ultimately on December 27th, he did this. I coined the term. He disappeared.
What?
He's an expert at disappearing, because that's why I haven't seen him in 5 years before he came. So he disappeared. That's a new terminology, new term, disappearance. So that's where we are now. So it's almost 3 weeks, and it was pretty depressing. I felt like, I lost my son again. A son I never had, I lost again.
Wow.
Yeah, I should have. I don't know why. And you were on my mind to call, but we were so tumultuous. He and I were, in each other's face. As you could, I have videos with this. It was crazy what he and I went through. We paddle boarded every day, like me and you. And it was pretty difficult, because he was suicidal and he was just being. I hope. Last I heard, he's in Israel, trying to recover in a war zone. Of all places, he chose the safest place to go to. But I wish him nothing but the best. Anyway, and how have you? I haven't even asked you how you've been in this couple of months we haven't spoken.
I started to mention this to you before, but I took a COVID, what you call it, booster or whatever it is they give you. And I also took a flu shot.
How is that going?
I've been coughing up.
See, you don't call me.
Huh?
And you wouldn't call me. I would get that cough away from you.
I've been coughing up a film that scares the shit out of me. It's like, I've never seen, and I don't know whether it's from either one of those shots.
And have you done x-rays and stuff like that?
No, I haven't done anything. I was waiting to come in.
I mean, I'm also a pulmonary. I know we have many different connections spiritual and emotional, but I'm also I was your pulmonary physician, and I can be of help. You could use me and abuse me.
I don't want to.
So you're gonna have
a
pulmonary who's has. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was coming to you actually for advice of what to do. So I have an appointment to come in.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I like that. I like how you as a true star can so beautifully segregate business and pleasure. Pleasure is pleasure, and if pleasure may not be where it wants to be or where we want it to be, business is still business, and nothing to do with one another. That's what I'm telling my relatives. I say, look, if we don't see eye to eye, like me and my grandpa, he doesn't understand or he doesn't agree with a lot of things I say, which again, who does? But he accepts me as a grandson. He goes, you're my grandson. What am I going to do with you? You're crazy. So what? I have a crazy grandson. Have a crazy grandson. And that's it. But I love you because you're my grandson. And then that's as far as that goes. So then he's always there picking up the phone. I wish you and he talk. You know what I will do? This is what I want to do. When I go to him, I wish he had a capability of FaceTiming. Well, I want to introduce you to my grandpa. Having said that, when is your appointment?
Oh, I have to go look on the thing. I think it's I know it's after. I have friends coming in from Australia.
Nice.
On the 15, 16, 17. And they're going to be here a couple of days.
Because you know what I could do? Meanwhile, that way you don't have to, we don't have to spend more time than we have to. Or you having to return when we can get it all done in one visit. What I could do, I could arrange for you to have some type of at least an X-ray. Just so we can make sure that, you sound quite healthy to me, and I haven't heard you. How long you been having a cough?
About a week and a half.
What does your...
I'm due in your office on the 23rd.
So that's like 8 days. But what I could do is I can get Miriam to arrange at least an X-ray for you, so that way you can come and you could have you already have a result. Otherwise, it will. What we normally do is we refer a person for an X-ray. It takes another several days to a week, and then that way you'll be already done. So what I'll do is I'll let them. I'm back. I was there today, but I'll be back Wednesday. And I'll mention it to Miriam once we finish this conversation to arrange that for you. That way you should and stay in touch. If you have something like this, call me, because you know me, like I get silly sometimes. But otherwise you feel okay.
Otherwise I feel great.
You sound great.
I know I'm getting older. And I know everything is not going to be 100%. But when something happens inside and I don't know why, then it bugs me, and
I understand.
I gotta find out. What's going on. And I say, oh my God, I got to call my crazy friend.
That's a beautiful thing. So is that the reason why you chose not to work?
Yeah.
Because of the...
Yeah, because if I can't get the amount of air that I need